the base and connects to the center of the earth. We are now completely synchronized and harmonized with source and earth frequencies. And if you'd like, you can imagine another beam of light that shoots forward from your heart space and attaches to my pyramid so that we're all connected in this closed container of a classroom. And within this white light activated, we are now completely protected, and we only allow truth, love, and wisdom to enter our fields. Okay, and then you can ask for a physical confirmation that the white light has been activated. Feel into your body. I just got a foot twitch. So welcome, welcome. I just finished the white light. If you're just joining, please make sure your candle is lit and you've saged yourself, Palo Santo'd yourself, and do the white light before we can begin. Today, I had 3 decks out, oracle decks to choose from. I was like, I have the Gaia deck, the Apollo oracle deck, but I felt called to the Lyran. I'm feeling very alien themed today, UFO disclosure. And so I was like, which deck should I use for that? And I was like, what better one than I have than the Lyran oracle deck? Who we're learning, and if you haven't, please go check out the Lyran interviews we've done in the past. But they're ancient aliens, and I want to see what their message is for us today. So let's start off with that, because I don't have a plan for today. Good afternoon. Today was a surprise Monday, since Emily doesn't have, I think her sessions today are Tuesday and Thursday, since she's got her Paris event right now. So I was like, you know what? I need a session on Monday to start my week off right. And I know we're feeling all kinds of funny energies right now. So let me get on here in her absence. And let's start our week off. Getting a message from the Lyrans. So let's call in. I would like to call in the Lyran Council. What did they call themselves? Lyran Force? Lyran Force. Okay, I'm getting chills. Can you feel that? And let's grab our rods and ask. Okay, I would like to call in the Lyran Force. I thought I felt those chills. Okay, so do we have one individual present right now? No. Okay, so do we have the entire Lyran Force? Yes. Okay, and is everyone here for our highest and greatest good? Yes. Okay. Wonderful. If you get a no, start over at the white light and call them in again. Okay. All right. And then is it for our highest and greatest good for us, first of all, to call you in today and discuss UFO disclosure today on the live? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to pull a card, and I want this card to be your message to us today about where to start on this UFO disclosure conversation. Yes. Okay. Let's do it. We just called in a group of aliens that look like giant cat people, like in Thundercats. Just sit with that for a second. That's our reality right now, even though we can't, or some of us, I can't physically see them. I can't mentally see them yet, but I felt that full body rush. And I know that I don't have the rods in my hands, but I know that they would say yes if I were to ask, are you literally like crowded in my room right now? They would say yes. So interesting. You know, that's my favorite word. Hey, Steph. We just called in the Lyran Force, and I'm about to pull a card because I feel like I want to talk about alien disclosure today. And so we're going to see what they say. Okay, so let's see what this card is. I got 28, Mystery School. Curiosity opens up advanced awareness. Okay, it gives me chills, but you know me, I always ask. Okay, the Lyran Force, am I still connected? Yes. Is this the card you wanted us to start our talk with UFO disclosure? Yes. Okay. Let's check it out. It's number 28. And I'll show you the picture in just a second because it's pretty dang cool. And it's very much giving me Halls of Amenti energy in terms of what it looks like. So, okay. Mystery school. Look at that, guys. It's like a galaxy on the ceiling. Isn't that cool? Oh, thank you, Kat. Oh, I missed it. Oh, dang it, Kat. That was so cute. Thank you. Okay. Perfect timing. Yeah, really cool illustration. This is the Lyran Oracle deck. Found its way to me before I truly understood that they were real. I just felt very called to this lion thing. And they're real. And they're here. So let's see what they have to say about alien disclosure. Where do they want us to begin? We want to speak with you today on the time period of ancient Egypt and its impact with the Lyran society. As you can observe from the artifacts still intact from this time, the honoring of felines was very much important to the overall culture of ancient Egypt, or Kemet. In particular, the felines were honored often due to their star connection with the constellation of Lyra. Specific masters such as Thoth, who initiated the mystery school traditions to this day, were engaged in intergalactic transmissions with us, the Lyrans, alongside many of his initiates. The objective of these transmissions were to share our advanced mathematical understandings of the universe so they would be carried forth into human awareness, as your planet was predicted to descend into the lower dimensional scale at a future point. The Sphinx was constructed originally as a lion to pay homage to this connection to Lyra and is a form of a stargate. Within the Sphinx rest the remnants of our advanced technology that humanity will discover and activate in the near future. In fact, many galactic lightning or thunder just hit. It's a surprise Monday live, Rebecca, so settle in because Emily's not going to be live today, so I'm going to fill in the gap. Okay, let's see. Within the Sphinx rest the remnants are advanced technology that humanity will discover and activate in the near future. In fact, many galactic artifacts are scattered throughout Earth, awaiting for humanity to achieve an advanced consciousness in order to utilize these technologies. Without an advanced consciousness awareness, much of these artifacts will not be fully understood, and so they wait for the right moment. When the card of the Sphinx arrives, I was like, the card of the Sphinx? Oh, so this is the card of the Sphinx? Okay. Interesting. Maybe we need to call in the Sphinx. Okay. When the card of the Sphinx arrives, your Lyran family is instructing that there is much more information to the situation than the surface presents. Now is a good time to keep an open mind, withhold judgment, and through releasing what you think you know, you will uncover a greater truth to be amazed at what is actually occurring. This is the power of an open consciousness, for only the curious seeker is bestowed the treasures of truth. Make curiosity a key word for you at this moment in life. Be open to exploration, adventure, taking risks, travel, and seeing life beyond what you know. In order for us to grow, we must abandon what we think we know by releasing our knowledge and emptying our cup. Humility is the way, and curiosity opens up advanced awareness. Very interesting. And what a perfect card, as usual, when I asked for a card to start our topic about UFO disclosure. It is bringing it right back to the reality, which is that so many of us are still focused on future-facing occurrences when the reality is there are alien technologies within our bodies, within our Earth, like literally hidden, literally under the Sphinx, yes, under other ancient places. I mean, I just learned the other day that, is it true that there is an ancient pyramid hidden in Louisiana? What is it? Is there a pyramid in Louisiana? Yes. Is it hidden? No. Okay, so one can go and visit this ancient pyramid in Louisiana. Yes. And is this ancient pyramid in any way connected to aliens? In Louisiana. You know, our books only talk about these ancient pyramids in other places like Egypt and like Mexico and all these kinds of things. But it was everywhere. The whole network. This planet was an alien planet, is an alien planet, which just happens to have humans on it because they were created by aliens. And knowing that, but having conversations with people who are still like, I don't know, aliens might not be a thing. Like, it's like, ah, they're here. The U.S. has the most pyramids. Where in Louisiana? I don't know, but I think you can Google it. I don't think it's hidden. I think it's a you can just Google like an ancient Louisiana pyramid, and it will pop up. So I actually, that's my goal for next month, is to have one of these Rod lives there. I'm going to find out where it is, go there, because I live in Louisiana. And so would it be in our and my highest and greatest good to go there? Yes. And go live while I'm there? Yeah, that would be cool. It would be fun. So we're going to try that. No future questions. This is I forgot to put up my sign, but this is a group rods class where we learn how to use our divination tools. And today we're learning about alien disclosure. And so just like that card said, we and I feel even the me's, even the people out here who are talking the talk and you know, we say we're talking to aliens. Yeah. I think I keep getting the hint that even us who think we know are going to go through a tunnel of like, holy shit, kind of our own level, even though we know more than the average person of what's happening. So that's the impression. I feel like that's the energy that's coming in. And if you're paying attention, you're seeing that a lot of people who have not been doing their internal like shadow work, like many of us have been for the past years, and those who have been, you know, still living on autopilot and ignoring their problems until are going through a moment in their life where the problems are loud. And so empaths out there, it is more important than ever to develop like grounding habits now, daily meditation, checking in with yourself and your energy, because other people's energies are about to be all over the place. This is the light worker mission, right? We're here to anchor in calm and peace during not so calm times. Yeah. So very, very cool. I also wanted to try our pendulum and poster rabbit hole, because that was super fun. And I was watching the replay, and this is a poster, everyone. I was watching the replay, and I could totally see like a magnetic pull. Did anyone else notice it? Like where it was circling, and then it like stops, and it almost looked like it pulled slightly and then lost tension. But yes, this is the Great Awakening poster that I say is like my rabbit hole poster. And we're going to use our pendulum to try and find a topic, a rabbit hole to go diving into. So where's my pendulum? Here it is. Okay, let's do it. All right, Lyran Force, take us to this mystery school. What rabbit hole would you like us to dive into? I'm going to first, since it's such a big poster, I'm going to divide it up into quadrants, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it in quadrant 1? Interesting. Okay, but just to double check, is it in quadrant 2? No. Okay, is it in quadrant 3? Quadrant 4? No. Okay, so quadrant 1. Yes. Okay, well, that was easy. So I said 1 is over here. All right, let's do it. All right, I would like you to have it say yes, and then I want you to stop it on the topic. Okay, so it's starting to circle. I'm going to see if you can stop. Make it say yes. It's circling. Okay, and last time. I'm trying to see if it'll pull. I feel like it's stopping over here. Okay, okay. Now I'm going to use my rods because I don't trust my pendulum work that well. Okay, so I'm going to see there's a couple things it could be pointing to. All right, am I connected to the Lyran force? Yes. Do you want me to talk about collective consciousness? Mass meditation? No. Did you want to talk about the solar flash? Interesting. You want me to talk about the great solar flash? That's what it's saying. The great solar flash. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's any other thing that they want me to talk about other than that one, because that one's a heavy one. And you want me to talk about the solar flash? It's feeling like a yes. Okay, well, fine. I'm going to make them talk about the solar flash first. Okay, will you pick a card from the Lyran deck about the solar flash first? Yes. Okay. Let's do it. Because I'm like, what do you want me to say about that? Because the solar flash is an interesting topic for me. It's got like a weird lightheaded feeling. Fine. And I know that they know this is a weird topic for me because when I was first contacted by aliens, they called themselves the Wisdom Keepers. That was one of the first crazier things they started telling me about was this great solar flash. And, when I started telling my spiritual friends at the time, which was like a local hypnosis group, which was lovely for my growth, I was surprised because they rejected it and that prophecy. It was the first time that I was shown that even those in the spiritual community, I was quickly passing a lot of them up in terms of understanding things and processing and integrating things. And so it was my first wall I hit with my group. I'm like, oh, I think I've outgrown this group. And so it was a hard one because for a long time I doubted it. And I was like, maybe I am. Their understanding was that I was manifesting something negative, a negative timeline with this solar flash, because at the time, the solar flash was attached to a few 3D issues. But let's see. All right, let's pick a card for the solar flash. Another Sphinx one. Let's see. Is this the card you want for the solar flash? Yes. Okay. It says Cosmic Star Family, number 13, and it's literally a flash of light going into someone's crown chakra, the Sphinx's crown chakra. And DNA upgrading, which I know is exactly what I have been told is the solar flash. Okay, let's read it, y'all. Because these aliens are telling us exactly what we need to know. And I think that's so funny. Okay, number 13. Okay. This universe that we all share together holds many intergalactic councils that some on your plane refer to as federations. These star federations act as established collectives of thought where unique species converge together in order to share ideas, intelligence, and how they can co-create together for the betterment of all that is. We, the Lyrans, for example, were initiated into the Galactic Federation shortly after the Orion Wars that decimated our home planets in the Lyran star system. Through the help of these various star federations, a collective of white lionesses were evacuated and taken into the Sirius star system, where we found refuge in a similar terrain planet as our former home, situated in the depths of Sirius B. With the help of these federations, our society began to rebuild itself into colonies, and thus began to develop a wonderful friendship with many of our cosmic allies via these councils. As these federations came to our rescue in our species' darkest times, so too can a helping hand come to yours when you least expect. The Cosmic Star Family card arrives when someone is attempting to help you get to your goal or offer support. Now is a wonderful time to be open and receive. Reach out for support and allow for the generosity of others to serve your life mission. As we all expand into this field of higher awareness, we realize that all of existence is serving one another, for we all come from the same source field. Through this opening and knowing, existence begins to serve you fully as you open into the field of harmonious co-creation. So very, very cool. And that's exactly, the card, again, I'll show you, it's all about DNA upgrades and that light coming straight from source into our bodies. So yeah, I'll go back to my story. So when they started telling me about the solar flash and my, some of the 3D problems that came with it, like, yeah, they did say at the time. And again, this was a timeline that is the timeline the Wisdom Keepers told me about back then. Still the active timeline we are on now? No. They told me the truth, that these solar flare energies started picking up. I think it was September 2024. It was either 2024 is what? Yeah. That was when the Wisdom Keepers started telling me it will begin. And that is when the Schumann resonance started going bananas. And that is about when in my life I started being like, oh my God, I'm really being contacted by aliens. What am I supposed to do with this? Now I'm here. And so the solar flash it's packs a punch for me. But they always said that ultimately the solar flash was just like that picture. A bunch of light codes, upgrade codes, massive amounts. And they've equated it to massive amounts of angelic energy. And they've even told me that it could be like kind of uncomfortable for some, especially if you've never connected with angelic energy, and angels aren't, we think of them as like, oh, ah, but also they can be like, rah. And so it's high energy charge, our entire sun and our planet. It's energy meant as a final upgrade for the planet and a final upgrade for our bodies. And to surrender. We're supposed to surrender to it, relax, trust that, I don't know. Should I tell the rainbows? Is it still possible? So they've told me in the past, and I had a vision about it too. So is it, and they've told me that, is it possible that we'll know the flash has happened because we'll see auroras everywhere? Like, will auroras be visible all over? I get a yes. An aurora is a special name for me, and because all of this is also very connected to the angel Aurora. Yeah. And the angel Aurora is someone who would be for people's highest and greatest good to start connecting with, especially when it comes to this new dawn, new era that we're building. She is the angel of new dawns. So no personal questions, please. So yeah, that solar flash. What does it say about the solar flash? Here's what the poster says about the great solar flash. And this is why I bought the poster, because when I saw this and I thought, okay, the aliens were telling me the truth. And I've always thought that, even though I know timelines have changed, I feel that we have been put on a smoother timeline in terms of the flash. Yes, like less chance and shorter time frames of any sort of grid collapse. Because that was what my friends had accused me of, the negative timelines, is like previous timelines. I was told, a flash that big, like we've experienced, it's similar to the Carrington event. I don't remember what year, but look up the Carrington event. And that was the last recorded solar flash of magnitude that's going to be even close to what we're going to experience. So, that was when we had telegraphs. So the telegraph system went kaput at that moment. And so, yeah, there could be some like actual physical electrical issues because of it. And I didn't want to share any of that for a long time because I'm like, that sounds scary. But it's like the big understanding is that we have nothing to be afraid of. Correct. And that you are saying that the auroras all over will be a sign. Yes. And think of, I mean, that's true. We keep seeing that, right? All the times they announce like there's going to be all these solar class flares. You then the next couple of days they also are like, oh, and look, auroras seen lower and lower. I'm like, we're already seeing it. We're already seeing it. And that's something to keep in your pocket, people who are around skeptics. Like my husband is also a very logical minded person. Like I still am, but now I know that the right brain is where it's at. You know, when he's always like, but you have no proof of what they said is true. I'm always like, you know, and you're asking, will there be signs before, Connie? And I always say to him, it's already happening. I'm just telling you, like, if you look at the whoever is monitoring the solar flares and you look at the data, it's still increasing. There hasn't been like okay. And now we're learning as we're literally connecting with Apollo and Gaia, but like there is definitely something happening behind the scenes with them, behind, I want to say closed doors, but not really. They got that wide open. There's so much proof. And so I'm like, look, I cannot prove to you that aliens are contacting me and telling me these things. I was like, but if you took any amount of time to go and look, you can see that the solar flares have not slowed down. They're just increasing. And I just keep being told there will be a climax. And we have not hit it yet. Is that true? Yes. And I've always felt that the climax, Flash, and the motherships will be very close in time. Maybe even like it's all at the same time kind of a thing. Yeah. So the poster has a lot to say about the Great Solar Flash. Okay, first of all, it says it occurs every 25,900 years. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Interesting. But I've also been told, is that true for this timeline alone? Yes, because it's making me think of something I've been told for a while ago, and it was basically that this timeline is on some sort of a loop. Is that true? Yes. And it's a loop from the time Atlantis was destroyed. Yes. Okay. So, if you'd like to learn about Jesus Christ, aka Yeshua, please go check out my Yeshua's Truth video. Otherwise, please be quiet and watch and learn. You have those rods and sometimes have gotten wrong answers. Yes, that's a good point because, and I've covered this in my previous classes, but it's true. Is it true, even though right now I'm connected to, I'm connected to a group of aliens right now. Yes. But even if, let's say, okay, I'm going to connect to Source. Yes. Okay. I'd like to bring in Source. Capital G, God. God. Yes. Source. Is it true that even you could lie to me on these rods? Yes. Is it true that a being that is truly here for my highest and greatest good can truly tell me a lie as an answer on these rods? Yes. And, you know, obviously we can be lied to by beings who are not for our greatest good. Yes. And so you're thinking, how can someone good for me lie to me? Well, you know, that's a difficult and complicated answer, but ultimately the truth is the only reason you are ever lied to by a being that is for your highest and greatest good is because your highest self needed it to be done in order for you to learn a specific lesson. Yes. So that's a hard one because the ultimate lesson is to learn discernment, which is like that inner knowing of like something ain't right. Because as you can see, even when I'm working with Stephanie and she's interviewing or she's channeling people, even though, like, I think she's like in the pro leagues, but even though she's in the pro leagues, they will still come in and be like, every now and then a test to be like, are you paying attention? Are you sure you know who you're connecting to? You know, because with great responsibility, I mean, great power comes great responsibility. You know, if she weren't able to discern who is telling her what, then the odds that someone could take advantage of her who means her harm would be great. And so it is an act of sort of like a tough love of like, we are trying to protect you by teaching you a lesson that we don't want you to learn a hard way. So connect to your higher self, because your higher self is the one who's organizing any amount of struggle, challenge in your life. It's your higher self you need to talk to. They're your manager. Talk to the manager. All right. So the Great Solar Flash. It says, upcoming series of Great Solar Flash events will act as the trigger for full disclosure and the Great Awakening. It also says the Great Solar Flash, it had prediction dates. And again, this poster, I don't even know when it was created. I was like looking for a date on the bottom right, and I just saw a little white rabbit. Oh. Yes, Stephanie, I don't give my power away these days. My highest self is magic. Exactly. Because you're just like, they got it under control. We lived most of our life feeling like we, us, had to keep everything under control. But I'm telling you, once you start realizing, the truth is that this is a game. This is a feedback game between you and your highest self. And you're supposed to trust, follow your joy and trust. You basically like a little sim, a happy little sim character. Thanks, Steph, for the white rabbit. And you're here to follow that white rabbit, which is your joy. Share your authenticity. Because we're living in a world in which joy and authenticity are hard to come by. You know? Getting harder to come by. For a reason. A systematic reason. Designed by, we label, opposing forces. To crush our spirit as humanity. And like I said to my sister today, it ain't going to happen. Something big is happening. Yes. And it's something good. Yes. But there is this layering mishmash of opposing forces trying to suck the joy out of this very good thing that's happening for all of us, including them, if they were to just let it. But we know how stubborn people can be. And as we're learning that there are some people out there who've been using a lot of this stuff. What do I think about Bashar? I think there's a lot of lovely things that Bashar has said. I quote his follow your excitement all the time, because that is 100% truth, what Bashar said, yes. And so Bashar is wonderful, but with all channelers, just remember, and that's part of what I think I will be exposing. Stephanie is my first partner that I'll be presenting, but I do know that my future will involve showcasing lots of different types of channelers. And just keep in mind that all channeled information passes through a very human egoic filter. And so that filter can have my own prejudices, my own everything. And so if I am not doing my own shadow work and facing the mirror in like, okay, then you wouldn't be able to trust truly that what I'm saying, which is why discernment is so important, which is why you might be lied to if you're ever connecting to beings that are for your highest good. So it's all connected, because we're being put through a timeline in which opposing forces is going to really try to jam the signal, so to speak. And we're seeing it with like these scary headlines that are starting to pop up. Ooh, aren't you scared of another pandemic? Like they're trying to scare, I want to say, our tits off. They're trying to scare the tits off of us. And so, you know, our friend pulled some cards, and the temperance card came up for the collective right now. Calm your tits. Strap them in your shirts. Holster them in, because it's about to get real. They're going to be flippy flopping. Okay? So either enjoy that flippy floppy show or look away. And I just hope you can imagine them, because I'm going to be double dutching them through this whole thing. Okay, so you heard it here. Calm your tits or learn some tricks. Oh, it's so funny because I was like laughing at it. I was rewatching a live the other day, and a joke I made myself laugh again. And my husband was like, "You're laughing at yourself?" I'm like, "Yes. Well, all of this is me talking to myself ultimately. You're hearing it, but like no one is here to be like, good one, Dale. Except for me." Okay. So the Great Solar Flash, what do we got here? There's like light, tiny writing. I have to get my spectacles. Solar system passes through geomagnetic or geometric boundaries, dense energy cloud, raising vibration and consciousness, causes sun to release flashes. 3D becomes 5D. Okay. And so, yeah, they thought this was going to occur between the years of 2019 and 2024. And so, again, you know, when channelers are having future-facing questions, just like that, was it true at the time of the making of this poster information that the estimated time was indeed in the range of 2019 to 2024 for the solar flash? Meaning a very slow yes. Okay, so is there truth to then that there was a delay in the timing since this poster was made? Yes. Okay. And is it true that all the delays have been for the highest and greatest good of humanity? I'm getting a yes. It feels to me like all the delays, even the ones we've experienced through Emily and everything like that, it's been for calmer timelines. Because as we're learning, it's also given more time for behind the scene forces like the Lyran force, like the inner earth forces, you know, even the reptilian forces that told us like they have projects where they're already working to create like better systems of living and developing our cities, because what are we doing with the current laying asphalt only for it to be broken and patched? Like, we are ready for the next level, and the next level is here. It's good times ahead, guys. So just hold that deeply. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Is there anything else? We're still connecting to source and now the Lyran force. Is there anything else from the poster you wanted me to read about the solar flash? No. Okay. So yeah, it's just a matter of like, this is coming. And I feel like the Sphinx part in both of the cards is super crucial. Yes. Is it in our highest and greatest good to connect with the Sphinx right now? Yes. All right, let's do it, y'all. I just felt like gagging energy. Ugh. Does that happen? You know what else is funny is when I've only ever felt that gagging energy 2 times in my life. I can't wait to get on board with learning from Emily Eden and get a hypnosis from Dale. Yes, you need to. And I'll be at her Minnesota, or is it Minneapolis? Her next retreat, which is in the US. It's in one of those. So I'll be there. And so will Stephanie. If you want to meet us in person, as well as Emily, we will all be there. And we're very excited because it's going to be powerful and magical. Well, yeah, the Sphinx. The Sphinx is very important because like that card said, the Sphinx was left behind as a remnant. It is basically a cache of objects. I'm like, when I picture it, it's like, it literally looks like a very dazzling golden, I see, it's like a treasure trove of information, like scrolls and books. Yes. Waiting for us to reach a threshold And this flash is the key. That's what it feels like to me. Because it's the frequency, the 5D is the key. So that is important. Look at my phone. Okay. So Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, so I was right on both. So it's in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay. Yes, I'll be there in July, which happens to be my birthday and Stephanie's birthday. So it's going to be extra potent. Because you want to know what happened? Okay, so my birthday happens to be July 23rd. Yes. But I have like a really weird gift. And is my like, would you say that my synchronicity gift is unique? Yes. You can't hang out with me or be my friend without my synchronicities coming into your reality. Like, it happens almost an embarrassing amount of times. Yes. And one of them is like, now Stephanie also sees my birthday. She sees my birthday like all the time now. And I feel like it's because it's gonna be really powerful July 23rd. So make sure you're there for that retreat. And if not, make sure you're following me so we share all about it. I'm not doing yes or no. This is like a group practice, Abby. So this is like where we help all of us learn how to use our divination tools. The Cosmic Web Weaver. Yeah, thank you, Sierra. And where was I going with this? I don't remember. Oh, but we were going to connect with the Sphinx. That's right, the Sphinx. So yeah, the Sphinx is really important. It is a treasure trove, and currently it is only possible to access the knowledge and wisdom within the Sphinx. Currently, any human can only access it astrally. Is that correct? Yes. But in the near future, we will be able to physically access what is inside. Yes. So very interesting. And so let's connect in the last 10 minutes with the Sphinx. The last time I connected with the Sphinx, it was actually okay. But the first time I connected with it, it was very intense, very strong. So hydrate and prepare thyself. But they said the Sphinx was left behind as a remnant for us when we're finally ready to remember our roots, our Thundercat roots. Because we're learning the Orion Wars are very much connected to the origination of humanity. Yes. And they were very Thundercats. Ultimately, Lyrans versus reptilians. Until, as the card explained, they started evolving themselves and grouping up and realizing like, oh, we can work together. Thundercats, yes. So, yeah. So the Sphinx. And, even though it pictures it here with a human face like we have it, we're learning that the original Sphinx face was actually that of Sekhmet. Yes. Who is part of a Lyran force? Who is a group of aliens who look like this? And they're here to help us remember that they really never left. So yeah, very cool. Maybe you could make it in July. Your dad is in hospice. Oh, I'm so sorry. Being a caregiver is so hard. I understand. So yeah. So let's connect with the Sphinx for the last 10 minutes, and we're just going to sit in their energy because it is highly activating to sit in the Sphinx's energy, and so allow it to do what it needs to. The Sphinx is technically like a guardian of Earth. Yes. So it has its own consciousness. The Sphinx has its own consciousness. I know that we're finding out there's a second Sphinx here. Yes. The scientists are now being like, we think there's a Sphinx underneath the Sphinx. Yes. We're going to find out we're finding out that we're going to find out there's an entire cities underneath certain airports, all airports. There's underground bunkers. There's underground, People have been building things underground in secret since the Sphinx times. And they never stopped. So it's about to be interesting what we unearth soon. Ha ha ha. Pun intended. Heavily intending that pun. Okay, so let's connect to the Sphinx for the last few minutes and just sit in that energy. Alexa, shuffle those solfeggio frequencies.
I can't find the solfeggio playlist on Spotify.
Never mind, we'll just do it silent. She fails me again. Okay, let's connect to the Sphinx. I would like to connect to the Sphinx. And I immediately got a foot cramp that is very intense and ow. Oh, okay. Okay. Am I currently connected? And it's coming back. Okay. Okay. It will pass. Oh my God. Okay. 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 Am I currently connected to the Sphinx? Yes. Was the foot cramp intentional? Dang. They got me twice. Okay. Whew. Well, it doesn't feel as intense as it did the first time. So that's a good sign. I'm taking that as a sign that I am integrating it properly. Yeah. So if you are feeling it, just breathe into it. It's a kind of a heady feeling. Okay. So we are connected right now to the Sphinx. Yes. And this is the Sphinx in Egypt. Yes. And are you a guardian of Earth? Yes. And you are directly connected to an oversimplified term, but servers in Lyra, or the Lyran Force Network. Yes. Okay. And are there other sphinxes on other planets? Yes. Is there an actual portal under the Sphinx? Yes. I've even heard that there is a spaceship. Is there a spaceship under the Sphinx? Yes. Is it a Lyran spaceship? Yes. Is it a pyramid-shaped Lyran spaceship? Yes. Interesting. Is it gold colored? Yes. Cool. I did a past life on somebody who is very much a cat lady in this life, and she was 100% a Lyran in another life, and it was really cool because she was like a Lyran scientist, and I didn't see. In my mind, I imagined it, but she saw and described. She was actually punished, like Lyran judiciary system was pretty intense, and was exiled because of her scientific choices. Interesting. So and they had gold and lots of gold and gold pyramid shaped flying ships. You need to get to Egypt. I know. We'll go. I know that I am meant to go to Egypt at some point, yes. And I really hope that the first time I get to go will be like, I don't know, like a group trip. That would be cool. Or like we're with all the channelers, we all group up and we go. That would be so cool. So, Erin's getting that she's getting that we will see that ship fly. Will we, are we on the timeline in which that ship under the Sphinx will be seen flying? Yes. Is it meant to be flown with beings inside of it? Like, will it be flown with beings inside of it at first? No. So it'll be like just flown empty? Yes. Cool. Okay. Is this to be expected anytime close to the projected time of motherships being seen worldwide? Okay, I'm asking that question again. Can you give me an answer? Yes. So will it be timed, hopefully timed close to the mothership's revealing? I'm getting a yes. Okay. Interesting. Like I said, I feel like whenever I think about the plan, I'm like, when I ask, like, what's the plan, y'all? Because originally it felt like the plan for disclosure was, and I mean originally, like when we first started sharing on here, which is not that long ago, just goes to show how timelines shift. Originally, it felt like the disclosure plan was like, let's introduce the more Pleiadian looking aliens, more human looking aliens. Yes. Is that the current plan of disclosure? Has that changed recently? Yes. I've been feeling that, so it's nice to get confirmation, because to me, it feels like the plan to, like, let's introduce the pretty ones first is being derailed in an effort to evolve with opposing forces plans. And it makes me feel like the only reason they're pushing this positive reptilian agenda right now, like, is because I didn't think they were good. Originally, it was made clear to me that the reptilian alien aspect wasn't going to be revealed to the mainstream until after they had accepted the whole alien thing. Was that originally the plan? Yes. But I very much feel like the new plan, and it feels very new, is like they are going to be revealed. It feels like ready or not, here I come kind of energy, like the truth is going to come out. And so, okay, and that's to me what it feels like. And I don't know how. It makes me think of how the reptilian said that, like, as we get closer, and so this is a topic that interests you, go check out the interviews, Prometheus 2.0 and the previous one where he channeled an alien, an Alpha Draconian, because we're being introduced to positive reptilians, and I know now that it's only because the not so good ones, the not good ones, are I feel about to be revealed in some way on a larger scale, which is going to be interesting. Huh. And it reminds me of a show that I used to be obsessed with much earlier than my awakening, that maybe you guys have seen or heard of. It's a show that actually was redone in the 200s, but 2000s, but it was an older show too. It's called V, like violin, V. And it's literally a show about aliens who come to Earth and they look like humans, but then we find out they're shape-shifting reptilians. And I was obsessed with it. And now I'm like, oh. Because a lot of us starseeds, the things we were obsessed with, have a lot of breadcrumbs for us to follow to understand why we're here and who we are. Yeah, so check it out. And so I feel like we are going to learn, and the reptilian said that we're reaching like a threshold frequency wise that make it so that their illusion magic is going to like glitch, is how I feel it, like an oopsie daisy kind of, like, oops, you weren't meant to see that kind of activity, is how it feels to me. And I feel like that is going to become more common. So it feels like just a matter of time before someone documents it. I don't know. That's how it feels to me. But I'd love to hear what you guys see. That's how it feels to me about like where the new pivot for UFO disclosure feels like it's moving. Feels like a pivot plan. Like, okay. But it feels like the problem with this plan, and the reason why it was originally not what the Federation wanted to do with the rollout of disclosure, was because that's scary, And by this pivot plan does, a lot of us are like, yay, because the time frame feels pushed. But it's also because it's increasing the fear factor out there, right? Even for those like me who know Like, I know in theory that they're real. But if I ever see one in person, I am going to have a heart-stopping moment where I literally probably won't speak. I wanted to say like for a day, but who knows? Like, I cannot predict the human response, which is why the reptilian was like, it's in everyone's highest and greatest, because even if I saw a 10-foot Pleiadian that looks like Legolas, my childhood love, I am still going to have a heart-stopping moment and then fall in love. But still, I will have a fear moment. So we have to work on that fear because we're all carrying it. It's our human response. And so, but the future is alien, and we are going to have this alien Star Trek Earth experience here, because the reality that it's always been that way, just kept behind a curtain of secrets, is coming out big time. Should you extend your retirement? No future facing questions? I would say what you should do is follow your excitement, to quote Bashar. And as we enter into this, oh, Egregore, I love that you're here again. Yeah, here come the boss. As we are being pushed into this, it feels like game time, folks, game time push that we're entering into. It's more important than ever. Focus in, guys. It's game time. It's the big leagues. They're going to try and pull out the big stops. We're already seeing it. They're poking our wounds that are barely healed with this pandemic virus fear that they're trying to resurface. They're poking our wounds on the World War stuff. And now it's very likely, I got the puzzle piece, that as we get close to the moments where disclosure is a reality, which is the moment so many of us have been like, yeah, keep in mind, it brings its own level of problems, okay, of challenges, new level boss battles. And so it's not this like one and done miracle moment, okay? They've just described it as the end of the beginning of this whole phase that we're going through. And as Emily's channeled in the past, is it true that we are in like described as if you think of this like a pregnancy, we're in the second term. Yes. And we'll think of the pregnancy pop to be the moment of the flash. Yes. Okay. So that's where I feel maybe that is where tomorrow, and that's exactly why I'm going to be ending the topic on that, because tomorrow we'll be having Gaia for an interview to talk about the solar energies building up inside of her. And I'm sure it's 100% correlated to what we just talked about all day today. So it's funny how that happens. I came on here without a plan or a clue what we were going to talk about. And good thing we can connect with our aliens friends, the Lyrans, who you need to be connecting with, who we have so much record of in our ancient Egyptian history. Oh, no kidding. A lion-faced person? You mean like this one? Huh. This one is actually Mihos. It's a male, and it's supposed to be the son of Sekhmet. And so, very interesting. If you're interested in my Sphinx activation that Stephanie channeled a few months ago now, please message me. I've been giving it away for free. It is also, I think, on the YouTube. If it's not, I'll definitely have to put it on there. And go follow us on YouTube. That's where we've transferred all of our long form content, so it makes it easier to see what you've watched, because we're producing like 2 interviews a week at least now, plus 4 live rods practices a week. We're working overtime because we're here to make the biggest impact we can in the shortest amount of time we can. So thank you for being on this journey with us. Please join us tomorrow for the Gaia interview at 11 a.m. Central. Please follow us on YouTube, and also please join our Discord, because that's where we're building community. We're watching Westworld and Sense8 right now. So Discord people, we got to figure out our watching schedule this week, because I know we want to get it done. So let's do that. And we also have ecstatic dance parties and meditations on there. It's a good time. You need to be there. Thank you so much, Goldie. I love you too. So thank you all for being here on this journey as we get to prepped for the next